Welcome, everyone. Okay, so we know how in love I am with Eduprotcols, and we have a special guest tonight, John Carippo. So welcome, John.
Hi there. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, are you ready to get started? Because I know we have a lot in this jam-packed session.
Inside teacher trick. I'm never ready, but I still go anyway.
There you go. There you go. So this session is going to be hands-on. So you are expected to work and be like a student. So
I will be giving grades.
Yeah. So don't just sit there and act like you can get away with this. But if you don't know me, I'm Stephanie Howe. I'm an instructional technology coordinator in Ohio. So welcome, Adam. We were just talking about you, me and Megan today, because you are amazing. So glad you're here. And then John, go ahead and share a little bit about you.
I don't want to talk about me because it's not about me. Let's talk about Adam.
Okay.
You know
Let's talk about Adam. This sketch noting is amazing.
He's living the Eduprotcols lifestyle, right? Adam was a really, really good teacher all the way along. Mm-hmm. And then by taking just the mindset shift of maximizing his natural wacky creativity and showing him how easy lesson frames are to use in protocols, he's becoming like this famous dude. Like people are like, give me some more of that. So that's really like, I don't want to talk about me. People can find me if they want to find me, but like people like yourself and Adam, we got teachers out there changing the world. And that's a whole idea of protocols right there. That's the whole idea is teaching better, working less.
And Adam, if you can share your Twitter handle in the chat so people can follow you, because you're always sharing Eduprotcols. And I know I steal your resources all the time. I try to give you credit. But just if you don't mind throwing that Twitter handle right into the chat, and you are right, I'm going to share something like California was like sharing these Eduprotcols like all the time, maybe because the creator lives in California. I don't know. And Ohio, we are coming to change the education in Ohio by one protocol at a time. I love that. Yeah. So there we go. All right, let's go ahead and get started. It looks like John froze. I think John froze, so I'm going to keep on going. So right here we have Fast and Curious. So Fast and Curious is a really fun Eduprotocol, and you use this protocol with quizzes, Gymkit, Kahoot, pretty much any of those game-based learning type of platforms. And so we are, again, going to play the Fast and Curious tonight. And, oh, there he is. Did you freeze again? I thought John was back, but I think he's still. Oh, are you there?
I'm sort of back.
And we have Kim Bogey who just joined.
Kim Bogey's here. Hi, Kim.
We got all the people.
Right on.
Okay. All right. You ready to play quizzes, John?
I sure am.
All right. What was your fact for the quizzes?
Oh. Well, for quizzes, the big idea is that the way teachers do their quizzes right now is they make a packet and they give out a packet and they collect a packet. Caitlin Bullock's here. Now we got Michigan in the house. And I'm going to have you run it because my bandwidth is a little sketch right now, Steph. So let me have you run the quizzes, and I will talk while you build, and I'll send you the link to run the quizzes. But basically, the idea is that when teachers hand out packets, kids don't actually practice. I mean, it's that simple. And the reality of it is that most 10-year-old John and Adams are not going to go home at night and actually do any of the practice. I just sent you quizzes, Steph, so you can pop that open in the chat. And then if you want to advance the slides, you can. So basically the idea of the fast and the curious is really, 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 really simple. Give the kids the quiz of the DOK low level stuff. Give them the quiz. Just give them the quiz. Find out what they don't know. Coach them and then give them the quiz immediately again. So Stephanie's setting up for us to have a quiz. And I like to do these, you guys, if you're following along with this, I like to do these on things that teachers don't know because we're proving the point. So the point we're trying to prove here is you can learn a lot really quickly. Yeah, Kaylin's right. What's accomplished with packets? And I was a packet guy. I had to move out of that too. So if you guys want to go to joinmyquiz.com and the code is 424438 in our Wild West theme, we're going to be doing Lucha Libre. So if you're a fan of Nacho Libre, we're going to learn out a little bit about Lucha Libre here. And so if you guys want to jump in there, and the code is 424438. 424438. And I literally, Stephanie, I kind of, this whole thing gelled on me with a group of teachers. We'd been doing work together for a couple of days, and I said, do you guys want to take a Latin roots quiz? And they said, of course, we're language arts teachers. And what happened was they took the quiz and they only got 27% right. So then do you want to take the quiz again after I coach you a little? Because the quiz questions, and Caleb loved this, they came from the University of Michigan. So that wasn't the regular 7th grade fare. And within 12 minutes, they had gone from 27% right to 96% right. And I went like light bulb. This is a thing. And it's pretty routine. The kids that I have in my class right now this year started the year on our Latin roots. Most weeks they would get about 35% right on the first try. And this week when they came in on Tuesday, 74% right on the first try. So I'm seeing them get better at this as they go along. Again, it's super important to mention this. This is low level. This is just the memorizing stuff. This is timed math, vocabulary words. But what we're doing is we're getting our time back. I would say go ahead and start, Kaylin. And if people just want to watch, that's totally cool. And just for the record, so everybody knows, I'm getting Starlink as soon as I can. I'm tired of my local internet. So if you're just watching, if you didn't join, and Kaylin, Stephanie, you can click on the little speaker there at the top by the end button. That'll knock that out for you. So we're giving these folks a quiz on the history of lucha, Mexican wrestling. And how's our percent going so far? How so far, Steph?
Pretty bad. I mean, I'm not getting any right. Oh, I got one.
Yeah. So the point is, I'm going to take you guys from around 30% right to around 80% right here in the next approximately 9 minutes, because we got to go on to the next protocol at about 5:16 to stay on pace. And Adam shared that Gymkit and Blookit are fun, but quizzes, Adam feels like, is more accurate. I sort of agree with that because quizzes, you only get one chance. But what's really fun about Blookit is you get those reps and reps and reps. So I'll use those in conjunction. I'll go back and forth. In fact, what I did with my end of quarter Latin roots was I gave the kids Gymkit open-ended all week, and they could use and make their own notes. And then on Friday, I gave them a chance to go multiple choice. My kids answered 3,500 questions in 20 minutes. Stephanie. How's that? 3,500 in 20 minutes with a 92% accuracy rate. And here's the best part. I have nothing to grade.
Yeah.
So for the low level stuff, I don't have hundreds of packets to do and things like that. So let's see, we're at 30, am I reading that right? 37%? 39, which is actually not bad for straight guessing.
Yeah.
Because very few people are going to know all this. Although I'm suspecting Adam might be a bit of a ringer. It's very possible. I've done this with as many as 600 teachers in a room before. Totally works. Totally works. Okay.
And it looks like our final was 43%.
43%.
Looks like John has frozen again. So we're going to play the game again. And this is what you would do with your students. So your students would get the quizzes. And on Monday, they would record their score. So we would go to our, this is like what I like to use with my group of teachers and their students is like Monday, they write their score in, or trial 1 and they write their score in. And then we would put 42% because that's what we got as a class average. And then Tuesday, we're going to go ahead and start the game again and see if we can get that percentage up higher as a class. And so go ahead and enter the new game code in or hit play again. Totally okay, Adam and Alexis. Yeah, and usually there is a mini lesson. Thank you so much for popping that in there, Kim. Yeah, you'll have between Monday and Tuesday, there's usually like some type of mini lesson to help those scores go up. And John is back with us. Looks like we got. Oh, I think you froze again. So as we're getting everyone in, we're going to start the game again and see if our lesson can go up. I don't know anything about this topic, so I can't give you that mini lesson. I don't know if John was planning to, but we're going to go ahead and start. Nice job. All right, so again, our score went way up. We were at like 40 something and we doubled it to 81, I believe was like the final percentage that we got, which is really awesome for us to do. And I love what Caitlin kind of said is keep those question numbers low because you don't want it to be over like 30 to 50 questions. And again, John kind of did that with some of his students, but he's been doing this kind of review constantly. So make sure you do kind of keep those questions low, because that will keep the kids engaged and interested. Where if this quiz would have had like 20 different questions, I think I would have been like, I'm feeling, unsuccessful. So really great way to do that. And then we have here that they send home review video material to certain students and then the class average increases. So I could look here and go, okay, this learner, they didn't answer any of the questions correctly. So then I'm able to kind of meet with that student one-on-one, provide that mini lesson. I also have teachers that use FRAIR models, and they sometimes will pair up another Eduprotocol if it's on vocabulary. So then on Wednesday, the kids that missed the words are creating a FRAIR model out of those words that they missed. So it can just be really engaging for your students. And we've got John back. And John, while you were gone, we went up. Our scores went up.
How'd we do? Look, I don't even have to be here and the scores go up.
We were at 43 and we went up to 81.
Yes. And so the point here is, brain science wise, just having the kids have a chance to see it, hear a little bit, and then do something, scores are going to go up. We usually keep this in the range of 15 to 18 questions, depending on the kids' grade levels. So, yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you guys heard me this in the break, but I live in a rural area. As soon as I can get Elon Musk's Starlink, that's going to happen. I'm so tired of my local internet provider. Okay. So anyway, so that's Fast and Curious. If you want to go on. So the idea is that if you want to go back one or two there real quick, Steph, right here. So on Monday, we track the class average. On Tuesday, we track the class average. On Wednesday, we track the class average. And on Thursday, we track the class average. If my kids are struggling with some words, thanks to @Coach_Stevens, he made a thing called Word Up Wednesday. And on Wednesdays, what we do is we do a FRAIR model on the 4 or 5 words that the kids are struggling with. So there's a lot of support possible and super tiny prep. So that's the base that gives us the time to do all the cool stuff. Oh my gosh, my internet's been working for 3 minutes. This is amazing. All right.
And yeah, I love what Andrea said. Like, she posts homework in the class. So if students want to practice, they can. And students will want to, because they want that average to go up.
And also, good one for Andrea. All teachers, I think, have the struggle of timed math. We got to do it, but I don't want to be the wicked witch. I don't want to be the crazy guy. And timed math and Fast and Curious, everybody grows, everybody has a good time. It's a totally different take. And really, how are you gonna do middle school if you can't do tables, right? Those things all hook together. All right, let's go on to the next segment. Thin slides. Okay, so we're gonna put the link out there so people can start jumping in. But basically, thin slides go like this: 1 word, 1 picture. 1 word, 1 picture. 3 minutes to build, and about 4 seconds to share. Now, given the StreamYard scenario, we probably won't do the share piece. But if anybody's been teaching long enough to remember the good old KWL model, where you ask kids what they want to know, and that's the K, and then you ask them what they learned, and then you ask them or what they want to learn, and at the end you ask them what they learned. There's K and W and L. The problem with it is, when you do that with kids in a circle or at their desk, you're teaching like the internet doesn't exist, and it does. So this is one of my little pivots that I took from Daniel Pink's book, Blink. He talks about thin slices and thick slices. And so the idea here is, I could throw out a word, and this is for you, Moeller, Whiskey Rebellion. I could throw out a word or phrase for Kim, like archetypes. And I could throw one out like for Andrea, like alpha channel, right? I don't have to teach that to kids. Basically, with a thin slide, I have the kids jump in, they Google image that phrase, and they drop in a picture and the correct spelling. And one little upgrade, this is just for you, Andrea, one little upgrade is I've started to have them syllabicate that. So whatever the word is, they put little slashes or bullets where the syllables occur. Now we're working in some little reading language skills. So let's put that, let's put the link up again and let people to jump in to the thin slides. And our thin slide challenge today, or the Bitly might be easier for them. The thin slide challenge for today, and we're just doing real quick, is what's your post-COVID summer trip? Amaze us. So one picture, one word, 3 minutes. And then Stephanie, if you want to jump to the external slides there, one of my favorite little tricks, and I'm not sure if Alice Keeler first thought about it or if she's the one I heard it from, so I don't want to take anybody's intellectual property, but if you look down at the bottom on the left, you can go to grid view. So click us into grid view, Steph. This is really neat because you can see all the kids working. I can see, I see Kim's slide right away. Kim is not shy to have Kim on her slide. So the idea here is one picture, one word, and then at the end, have the kids make an observation or a claim based on what they see. Now, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put a claim of what are the odds that we're going to be able to go on this trip. But for right now, just put a picture about like someplace you're jonesing to go after the COVID gets all clear, which thankfully it looks like we're seeing the end of the tunnel here. And one picture, one word. It's really quick and real easy. And then this is a fun variation I'm not always able to share with people is sometimes I will play the song from Car Wash, if anybody's old enough to remember that movie. And I have the kids keep their slide, but delete their picture. And then we do a second variation. In under 10 minutes, I can have my whole class create 2 graphics and explain their learning, much like the KWL idea from the old days. But the difference is we're teaching like the internet exists. Like we're having them go find things. And so examples for this could include things like perpendicular lines. Most kids are not wanting for me to give them a lecture about perpendicular or irony or complementary angles or area of quadrilateral, things like that. You give them a quick little thing and have them find some pictures. And if you'll scroll around, Steph, we can see some of the other examples there. And you see various different skill levels coming in, and that's okay. These are meant to be quick and just if you've got the skill to make them pretty, that's fine. But they're just meant to be quick. So Steph, let's flip through a couple of those. This is the idea of thin slides. 3 minutes, quick build, share something, and then let's see. Oh, looks like road trip to Seattle. I'm just guessing somebody got a new minivan or a family truckster if they're in National Lampoon Family Vacation mode. So if we were in class, I would have kids do this as just a quick thing. What's a claim or an observation? Adam has a great thing in the chat. He uses this as an exit ticket, and it's a great exit ticket. Like imagine this: 3 pictures of something you learned today. Go. What's your prep time? Nothing. And what I like about it, Steph, is you're really building a culture of quick turnaround for the kids. So when you go to do bigger projects, they're used to working at this tempo it's not freaky fast, but it keeps them moving. They don't need 45 minutes to make a slide anymore. Let's see some examples. Italy, Switzerland was on my list. Ooh, wait, what's this? This is cool. I don't know what that is. I wish I could hear that one. That's cool looking.
That is fun.
And then the next one, Kim, no tech, no Zoom. Kim is punching out this summer. I'm going to try to go totally dark in June this year, like June 4th to July 4th. I'm out. Okay, what else we got for a couple more examples? And then, it looks like that wants to say Paris to me. Is that? No, that's London. Okay, I see
London. Yeah.
So here, this is the idea of thin slides. And what's cool is you're doing a lot of the 4 C's. There's a creativity element. Very few of the slides are going to look exactly the same. There's a critical thinking part. If you haven't done these before, you're really processing a lot. Like, what's this do? And how do I do that? There is a creative element, a critical thinking element. And then when the kids collaborate, there's also, when they share out, there's that collaborative piece. And I've seen students who, this is a true story too, Steph, that you'll love this one. I was doing this with a bunch of students down in Southern California, and I said, your favorite artist, 1 picture, 1 word, go. And like 4 kids in the class liked the Beatles, and they were doing like, you like the Beatles? I had no idea. And new little friendships, little micro friendships were being formed around the fact that 6th graders like the Beatles. So Janice, oh my gosh, is that Dinosaur Park? Oh,
I think so.
So again, the collective hive mind solving the mystery of the cool picture. I would love to go to Dinosaur Park.
And I love what Kim said about the sticks. We're all
Yeah.
sharing. You hear from every student during these
Everybody's in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in. And then the other piece that I think, and we can start transitioning, I think, that, to the next thing. The other piece that I think is really important is this. You've got to do the first couple of these on something that's low cognitive load. Because what'll happen is the kids will be afraid of messing up if it's too technical on the first round. And Adam's amazing at this, of making things fun and interesting. So like you could do tacos or hot dogs, ready, go. You could do Nike or Adidas. Try to pick things that allow kids to take a stand, but on something fun. And like Kim said, she can do note and notice or get and give kinds of things. And that's cool. And again, it's 100% participation, super quick to grade. If you did all the things, one picture, one word, you get points. And then we'll do it again tomorrow. Okay, sketch and tell. I like to think of sketch and tell as on a continuum. And this is really cool about what's Marlena and I, my co-author. So I came up with the idea of thin slides, and Marlena came up with sketch and tell. So thin slides were basically Google image pirates. We don't care where it came from. We've only got 2 minutes to go, right? We're in a rushed screenshot, boom, looks good, claim evidence, reasoning, note, notice, wonderful. Okay, sketch and tell. And Adam is really a true artist at this. He took it way farther. Marlena, my co-author, came up with sketch and tell. And the idea of sketch and tell is one source, meaning it could be a PowerPoint, an actual textbook, the paper kind that we used to have. It could be a Wikipedia page. It could be a short video. It could be a PhET simulation. You've seen those, right, Stephanie? The cool sciencey things.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically at the end, you have the kids, they do a thing, read a thing, watch a thing. They get one slide, and then they explain by drawing, and they explain by writing. And one thing that's forbidden in the sketch and tell world is screenshots. You have to draw using the Google drawing tools or Nearpod or Pear Deck. Those are really good ways to do sketch and tell as well. And you can go on to the next slide now. So basically, I think Amanda Sandoval made this one. There's
She did.
100 different ways to lay it out. And I switched it on yours. I switched it, and I'll tell you guys why in a minute, because Amanda's stuff is really beautiful. I designed my stuff to be really plain on purpose because I want the kids' creativity to be that. So like, I love Amanda's stuff. In fact, I don't know if you know this, Stephanie, there's a thing called Sandovaling. So when when they want better slides, they say, I want to Sandoval them. So
Oh,
she's
I
like,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah, she's like Cher or Madonna of design. But on sketch and tell and thin slides, I my preference is to keep it super clean so that they have to decide the font. And then one's not better or worse, but this is the way I like to do it. So share that bit.ly so that our folks can jump in and do a little sketching and telling.
Yeah, and it's in the chat as well. So feel free to click the direct link
There you go.
in the chat.
Put it on screen there for a second, and then we can jump over into the slides. So today's sketch and tell is going to be using just the little drawing tools in the Google. Put up a couple of images of what your dream classroom might have. And hint, if you're putting in 32 desks, the Command D tool works really good. Command D duplicates things. It's kind of like copy paste, but less buttons. And remember, now this isn't the kind of thing where we have rules, but the general guideline is try not to use picture. If you go, and Steph, can you bring that down on your menu, the little shapes tool in the Google menu there, so they can see that on the screen? That guy right there. That one, yeah. If you go to shapes, there's a plethora of shapes. There's cones, there's cylinders, there's smiley faces, there's people's heads, there's little explosion-y things, there's Ghostbuster things like international no symbol. And so what we're challenging the kids to do is to creatively, symbolically do some things. And I'm going to talk about Adam's kids while you guys are drawing. And then there's also the scribble tool, and a lot of people forget about that one. There's a little tool under the lines where you can go and scribble. But like Adam's done this with gummy bears, and Adam's had his kids do this with Play-Doh. I think he was the one that popularized the idea of mold and tell. You can go to the dollar store and give all your 7th graders Play-Doh. They're so happy. And Adam's got some examples where his kids are modeling the shapes of countries. They're modeling the Black Death with a little rat and a little pool of red for the blood and a little metaphor of the countries that it's involved. But he's also done it with gummy bears. And one of my favorites, and Adam, I share this all the time, is it's a bunch of gummy bears under a 4x6 card holding one gummy bear up. And the explanation the kid has was popular sovereignty. We've decided to elevate this one gummy bear. And when kids do things like that, those lock them into their brain. It's what I understand is called dual coding. I might have that not perfectly right, but the idea is creating a visual that goes with your learning. And shout out, Adam, I know you've got her Twitter handle. Tina Grippa does some amazing stuff in science with this. And imagine letting your kids watch a video about erosion and then modeling it. That's a next gen science standard. Or if you've all have seen if you've seen the PhET activities, PhET, from the University of Colorado, imagine kids just letting them play with a laser, a simulated laser, of course. And then at the end, they do a sketch and tell about what did they find? What did they note and notice? What did they wonder? You want to take a little tour through some of those, Stephanie, through some of our artifacts? Getting some really cool stuff in there. All right. Oh, yeah. So they're designing some things that they would love for their dream classroom. We don't have the tell in yet, but I see, bean bags, those moon chairs, those moon pods are supposed to be really cool. There we go. And people are laying out small class groups. Notice that they're doing a lot of thinking, and notice that other than giving the challenge, I'm not carrying the cognitive load. I'm just continue to provide clarity for what the teachers want. And that one right there, hopefully those are all LCD TVs, because that's my jam. Like I love a lot of, like I would love to have 4 TV. There we go. There's the TV one. Look at that one. And I tell the kids, this is not a drawing competition. It's not about your art. It's about your ability to symbolically represent what your vision or idea or learning is. And I think, I think I screwed up, because we should have had some examples from Tina and Adam in there. But you guys see the idea. What a great first day of school activity. Design your dream room, unlimited budget. You've got 15 minutes, put in at least 5 items. And what if you, this one's for you, Kim, what if they had to link the source for each of their item, right? So like they describe it and link it. What a great way to get kids started on the year. They get to know about each other. You get to know about them. And if they get good at sketch and telling today, when we go to do something like popular sovereignty tomorrow, they're equipped with a self, what's the word I'm looking for? They are equipped with a long-term internal conversation to explain their thoughts and learning for the rest of their lives. And you're never going to get that out of doing a crossword or a dot to dot. So pick a couple of those other ones you want to highlight, Steph. I like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not an art contest. So all they have to be able to do is give us a visual representation. And then everybody that's in the chat, T-Grip88, oh my gosh, Tina's doing some great stuff. And I think, Adam, aren't you the one that brought her into the group as far as Eduprotcols? She's doing some crazy cool stuff in science. And her kid stuff is beautiful. In fact, in my own class, I had to show them Tina's pictures, and I was like, you guys, this is what they're supposed to look like. And my kids did so much better after seeing what was possible. And that sharing piece is really cool.
I like this.
I like this one too. Yeah. And look at, you got some people are like doing some color coding, right?
Oh, this one's outdoors.
Outside. Yeah. Outside. I see the pine trees. See how that works?
Yeah.
I love this one. Interactive whiteboards, tables instead of desks. I can tell you the table thing works out great. In the old days, you would be afraid of kids talking, but we want kids talking now. So it's a totally different animal. Okay. Are we ready to start transitioning? I don't want to leave too soon.
I think so. Those look awesome.
So thank you to our studio audience. All right. Another creation of Marlena Heburn's is Number Mania. And so basically, here's the non-negotiables, or what we call the recipe for Number Mania, and I'm gonna take this one a little slower because this is a more complex. This is like those were like level 1 protocols. You can learn them in about 20 minutes. You can do them in about 3 tries. Number Mania takes a little more processing. So let me keep that slide up, Steph, because that's a perfect one. So think about this, you guys. I'm thinking about me as a 6th grader and me as a 6th grade teacher. How many of you have experienced this? Hey, here's a list of 30 facts you need to get to study ancient Rome. Well, first of all, I don't want to read through 30 pages of 30 facts. Second of all, it's going to take the kids 2 weeks of not doing anything before I get those back. They'll all do them the last night, right? So why do we wait 2 weeks? And then the next thing is, it's just all over the place. I can't control the flow. So this was our Marlena's epiphany, which is this. What if all the kids got all the facts all at once? So basically what she does is in her design is she gives kids a web page, and it can even be Wikipedia on Julius Caesar, because I'm very 6th grade right now. It can be a good article from England on the Whiskey Rebellion. You can give them whatever you want for a resource, and then each kid gets one number and one fact, and they put it on a Google form. So it's super slick. And Andrea loves Number Mania. She teaches graphics too. So this is basically the ability to have your kids do an infographic as the opening lesson, or Madeline Hunter calls the anticipatory set. You can do this as the opening lesson because you go like this. Each kid needs one number, one fact on a Google form or a Microsoft form. Totally works. Those lead to a spreadsheet. Now, the spreadsheet is view only. So guess what I see on the spreadsheet if we're doing Pearl Harbor, Stephanie? December 7th, 1941, Japanese attack. Second one, 1,200 sailors died on the USS Arizona. Third one, 378 Japanese planes attacked. So instead of each kid finding 30 facts, I give them about 5 minutes, and 30 kids find one fact each on this spreadsheet. Now is where it gets really fun. Kids can shop through there and pick any of the facts they want. And they each basically do what's called a thin slide or a sketch and tell. So we're building these, except here's one more dirty trick that Marlena came up with. The pictures are actually front loaded in the margin. Can you zoom out on your slide, Stephanie? I don't think about this very much, but I learned this from primary teachers. So go to the little magnifying glass up above and click zoom out, one click. And look what Stephanie has hidden for you. All these little images. So I don't need kids to spend 45 minutes Googling. I tell them everything you need is up there. Oh, I like the zoom in. Nicely done. And now we're thinking in terms of metaphors and symbology. And so the kids can drag them in. So if we were doing Pearl Harbor, which we're not, but if we were, I would have a map of the Hawaiian Islands. I would probably have a battleship. I would probably have an airplane. I would probably have an American flag, a Japanese flag. I'd probably have some soldiers and sailors. And all the kids have to do is drag them in and use them as they see fit. So today's subject is by the numbers. And I want to give a shout out to Ryan O'Donnell. He came up with the by the numbers concept. Just hold that one right there, Steph. And by the numbers is basically when you go to a conference, what are 10 numbers? I went this many miles. I drank this many adult beverages. I met this many new friends. I did this many tweets. So take that by the numbers concept and apply it to infographics. Now, this is a shout out to Dana McJunkin Smith, a really cool teacher for Valverde Unified. She made this one the first 100 days of Franklin Roosevelt. Adam, percent of kids that are super excited about the first 100 days of Franklin Roosevelt. First question is, who is that? Well, he was a president, right? So they don't even know. So go forward one slide, Steph. And Dana made a really nice adjustment here. Step 1, read the article. What's step 2, Stephanie?
Share your fact.
That would be a live link to a Google form. And guess what step 3 is?
Grab and go.
So grab and go, you head over to the spreadsheet. Now, this is the key. I share the spreadsheet as view only because I don't want the kids moving them and digging around. Several teachers have said, well, what if one fact shows up a bunch? Well, I'm going to coach them about picking better facts. What if they miss a fact? What if we do Pearl Harbor and they don't have December 7th, 1941? It's going to be a problem. So I use that opportunity to coach them. You guys, when kids get a little practice, they can do this in under 30 minutes. So go forward, Steph. Uh, Here's some student examples. I think the first one's from Adam's class. If you want to give us a confirmation on that, Adam. So imagine starting with this. This is not the culminating activity. This is what we start with. So we're locking these numbers and ideas into the kids, into their brains. And I don't know how you do this, Adam. Feel free to share. But for example, I might tell the kids, do this, and then be ready to share. You've got 7 seconds to tell me what you think is the most important fact that you found. Most kids are not going to be super interested in the Louisiana Purchase until they've done something to get some buy-in. So once they start saying 15 million bucks, they bought the whole thing for 15 million. Once they discover that, it's important. And if you've been teaching for very long, you know how that goes with the kids. You can tell them something all day, but then they go, hey, did you know it was only 15 million? I'm like, bro, I've been saying that since Monday. When they discovered, it changes. So this is an opening lesson. And these can be kind of quick and dirty. I think this is probably 7th or 8th grade for Adam. Go one more slide forward, Steph. And now this is a little more high school. It's a little more refined, but the concept's still there. Do you guys see the 4 big numbers? This one is about whether juveniles should be treated as adults based on their crimes. Really good stuff. And look, there's only 2 images, but we've got a nice color in the background. And this is, I think, the part that Andrea loves, is the kids are getting a sense of graphics and graphic design, which frankly, everybody that's got a side hustle right now, whether you're selling bejeweled logs on Etsy like Kim Vogie, or if you're making Oreo sculptures like Adam is, and you've got it on Shopify, having a sense of graphics is a really important thing in modern economy. But it's also a way for kids to have pride in their work and get information into their heads, and not just by telling them all the time. Let them do the work. So one more slide forward. And so basically the way we would do this, we would go Google Form, leads to a Google Sheet. And then Steph, I think this one's your slide if you want to jump in for a sec.
Yeah, so depending on the time, again, Adam, I agree. If you've got 10 minutes, this is a great activity. Have the students do a quick research project. But if you have some more time or want the kids to kind of create, these are some really good websites. Or if you want to create the icon board for them, you can get some from the Noun Project. Icon Mania is a really new website.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
So Paula created Slides.
Is this Slides Mania?
But it's Icon Mania.
Oh, I love it.
And so she's building these out. She's added the sports one just this week because I was in here earlier, and she just added the vegetable one. So she is adding icons, and it's just like Slides Mania, only icons. Flat icons is a good one. And then also you can Google search. And then infographics, Google Slides probably works best because I like that students can see everybody's in one slide deck. It makes that sharing process go a lot faster. You just have to set up some SOPs for what the kids are to do and not do. Canva is a good one too, Adobe Spark, Google Draw, but I would have the kids download this as a PNG and then put it in the Google slide so that we can quickly show. And then just some pro tips using Remove BG, fonts, and colors. And these hyperlink to different websites. I love this website. It has different fonts. I stole this from Amanda since we're fangirling over her. And you can search any different type of font, and the kids could use this to kind of show a different tone, or maybe they're going for some type of message to get across. They're able to do that with this website. Remove.bg, that removes the background to get that transparent, and then colors so that kids can color match. And this is with Canva.
And it's really slick, you guys, to pre-position the pictures, because I think it's been ever since day one on the internet is kids looking for the perfect picture. I'm like, bro, no, there's 10, go, because we're just trying to get through this on time. And then as they get better at working with those, you can have them, then you can say you can add 2. And so it's a gradual release, and it's really nice. And nice point by Lisa, the kids can work all on the same They can do it. They can work on it.
Yeah, she's
That's
got second graders.
mhm. That's a cultural thing. You're going to teach kids to be polite to each other. And if you've got a kid that's messing up, what I do is I just put them on paper. Your number mania is going to be on paper today. So see how you like that. And sometimes they do, and that's totally okay too. So yeah, I'm excited about Icon Mania. I'm just learning about that today. I'm going to give you one back. The Noun Project just came out with the Verb Project. Could be some 8 parts variety there. So if y'all put the link back up, the bit.ly for this one, if you guys want to jump into Number Mania and just play with what that feels like, share 1 or 2 facts about you. Now for the ladies, there's no need to share your birth date or your age. It could be other facts like how many friends you have, or when's the last time, the amount of your last purchase at Amazon. So have some fun with it and drop a couple of pictures in there. And check this out. Stephanie, look at my internet went down, what, 4 times? We just did 4 protocols, including hands-on. We got 16 minutes left. We're doing great. And the other thing I'd like to point out is, what was our planning time, Steph? I had maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah. It was fun planning.
Like, if you've done PD for people before, imagine that you don't do any planning and you pull your PD together in a total of 40 minutes for a 1-hour session. Like, this could have easily been hours if we were doing it the old way. And so that's that flexibility and agility, because when I say Number Mania, Stephanie understands the pedagogy. And when Stephanie says, let's do some thin slides, I understand the pedagogy. And I love that ability of the teachers to talk same language. It would be no different than chefs saying, hey, I need a roux. The other chef is like, well, how do you make them? Like, there's certain things that are just, they're basic to what our skill sets are. And that interoperability is really cool, because Stephanie could be teaching 3rd grade right now and I could be teaching 6th. We could still be using the same pedagogical approaches. And then I find out things from her like Icon Mania, and she finds out things like from me like the Verb Project. And that's real collaboration. It's not just saying, do you have a worksheet for nouns? Because that's a pretty low bar. So we got some stuff coming in.
We do. Let's go ahead and look
I'm
at them.
expecting something funny from Moeller. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he is quite the jokester. And good share from Kaylin if you want to put that on screen. I would love to know why Canvas isn't great for shared Google Slides. But she's got a couple of workarounds there. So they share it on the discussion board or show the slideshow by going through SpeedGrader, whatever SpeedGrader is. Is that built in to Canvas, Kaylin? Yeah, Moeller's got a lot of bad dad jokes going. Yeah, I think people are afraid to like him because they don't want to get called out, but I think he's got a pretty good audience going there. Yeah, and these are great little examples.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. This must be Adam's.
Where is he? Where is he?
85 dad jokes shared every day.
That's a good inference. Yes, 250 student groans per hour. Is that where he's going? But again, if you've never done a Number Mania before, I just want you to enjoy, just take some time to just create, and then think about what it's like to be a kid in our class with protocols. You spend a lot of your time just making stuff and then explaining it, which turns out to be super healthy. So you're covering a lot of SEL things. I've got 2 students in my class who are, let's just say, they're not like the best readers or writers you've ever seen, but they're really good at graphics. And what I've noticed is, as their pride in their slide design goes up, guess what's also happening, Stephanie? Their academic performance is improving dramatically, because they're realizing there's an interface there that their slides don't get loved with typos by the kids, right? So they're feeling that social pressure, care, and it's really making a big difference for them academically. And maybe Andrea and Kaylin can get together, because Andrea says Canvas works great for share slides.
Is
Oh,
this
we got a
from
whole sidebar going there.
Do you think this is Kim Vogie?
Let me see. I can't. I got the slide deck open here. Let me see.
Oh, sorry.
Tick, TikTok, write a book. Oh, that might be Kim. Yeah,
I think that's Kim.
that's a pretty good guess right there. Which that could be a whole other fun game, right? Imagine this to
Who
start
is
the
it?
school. 5 facts about me, right?
Yeah.
And then use the flippity spinner to spin it.
Yeah.
And Mrs. McHugh is sharing. She did this with natural disasters, and then the kids gave a presentation persuading their audience to prepare for their natural disaster, and it turned out awesome. And again,
Yay.
it's so rich with 4Cs. There's collaboration because I love this. Leave that up for a long time. I have a great tweet from Megan Cannon. And her Twitter handle is Megan Cannon Johan. It's a long story. That's her school, and she's got second graders that are taking time during breaks to teach each other slides tricks. Like, how healthy is that? Like, oh, how do you do that cool trick? What do you do with the curves? How'd you do that? That's so metacognitive, and it's so healthy for kids to have esteem in things besides just my answer is A, B, C, D, or E, or my answer mirrors what's in the teacher's edition. I think those are really good. We guessed Kim correctly.
And it looks like we have Cora the Corgi here. So we've got a dog joining us.
All right. Well, but that's another example of, right? It's another example of if kids don't want to be too personally attached to their work, there is also a separation there. They can have a pseudonym, and they can have a character that submits their work all year in my class. In fact, I would argue that kid might be one of the more creative kids in class if they can pull that off all year.
And yeah, reach out to people and ask them what they're doing. That's this community.
Mm-hmm. We got a big problem with oversharers. I like this. Family members who taught in my district: dad, mom, me, brother, sister-in-law. Well, then we're working on, like, I'm going to add a piece here. Kids. We'll put kids down here. Your kids.
All right, let's go back to Adam, see what he came up with. Countless eye rolls.
Ooh, I like it. So he's in the Athletic Hall of Fame at his own high school. That's some leverage right there. You can leverage that like crazy. Look at this. Here's another good one. 37 years in education, 0 gray hairs. That is swagger right there.
That is pretty good. What's your secret?
Now, we might need to clarify, natural or
Yeah.
like legit no gray hairs or no modified gray hairs.
Mm-hmm.
Or the corgi says neat, and I'm a dog.
Yeah, right here is Cora. So she's born April 10th. Fun fact, I'm a dog. And then she has an Instagram.
Nice. Maybe she'll follow us. Oh, I also like slide. Where is this one? Slide 8 has some real nice.
Yeah. 96 ounces of water daily.
97 murdered plants. And so my question is, since when? Is that this semester or like ever? So anyways, you guys, that's a really nice place to kind of start tailing off on this, and we can do some Q&A and wrap up. That this is a great way to get to know your kids at the beginning of the year. I mean, it's just, you're doing something fun. If they can do like Cora, if Cora can get out there and knock out some cool slides on this, you can easily slide this right over to academic work. And you're really teaching kids creativity. You're able to give positive, actual feedback to everybody, and just gives you a lot of options. So very nice. All right, let's slide forward a little on the slides. So we may or may not be working on a summer school plan for Eduprotcols. that may or may not have been said by me here for the first time publicly. So imagine being able to have your whole summer school pre-planned in Eduprotocols. Interesting. And then we got the little arrow there on the new math edition of Eduprotocols. And one of the things I think that's really neat about that is that a lot of us, including me, in fact, I say this in the forward of the book, is I closed the door to my classroom, my first classroom, and I was like, this is going to be so great. And then I went, oh, yeah, and I have to teach math too. So if you're one of those K-8 teachers that really underestimated how much math you'd be teaching in a smarter, balanced world, there's 16 kick butt new protocols in there that are great for teaching math. So shout out to Lisa, Jeremiah, really cool stuff. And it's all built strictly for math. And
on Gold EDU, we are trying to do some Eduprotocols, and these are quick sections of the different books and just sharing resources that I found on Twitter that people are just creating, templates I've made, done with teachers, and just sharing the love. So if you click this link in the slide deck, which we will share out at the end of the session, you can check out some of these. They're not all done yet, but I'm hoping summer they'll be done because I need them for my teachers.
Oh, and the plant killer was Nowakowski, and she said that she's actually killed as many as 4 cactus, that's real work right there.
That is.
And then if you want some more follow-up from me, at @jcarippo on Twitter, you can go to #Eduprotocols on multiple platforms and see things happening. And then you can go to eduprotocols.com, and we talk a lot about the Google, but we've got Microsoft versions of all this stuff too. So you can, it's not platform specific. And I guess probably my last big one for any people that are in here that are new, that are like, this is really cool. I want to say one last thing. Eduprotocols are not a curriculum. They just replace the crappy activities in your curriculum. So for example, if there's a thing that says, here's your vocabulary words to teach at the beginning of the unit, fast and curious. For example, if you're going to read a passage about science at the end, instead of answering the 4 cruddy college professor made questions, do a sketch and tell. You'll get richer responses and deeper feedback. Well, free lifetime tech support too. If you want your kids to read a section of a book and tell you what they learned, you can do a book of Kucha or a cyber sandwich. So you keep your curriculum, you just upgrade the activities, if that makes sense. So it works with anything. If you're Amplify, it works with that. If you're any of the major brands, it works with that. You just swap out the cruddy activities for the fast, easy to grade, tech-friendly ones. And if we're still in distance learning in the fall, which I don't think we will be, they still work distance or face-to-face. So you can start teaching yourselves now in distance learning. And when you get back to face-to-face, boom, right back to work.
Mm-hmm. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. That was fun.
Yeah, what a fun bunch. Thank you guys for keeping the comments popping too. That was fun. I like the interaction.
Yeah, that was fun. And we learned a lot from each other. So make sure you connect with one another. Add your Twitter handles into the chat so people can follow you and ask follow-up questions. But feel free to fill out the feedback form. Do we have a free book, John?
I will be happy to give away 2 free books tonight. Ooh. And I will sign them if people give you feedback. So how's that for some leverage?
We're going to pull names from the feedback form. So make sure you fill out that form. And then I'll send John your email addresses and he can follow up with you. Does that sound good?
Yep. Perfecto.
All right. Make sure you check out goldedu.org for more sessions and more resources on Eduprotocols. And make sure you follow John to find out what this summer school idea is going to look like. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, we're going to have 20 days ready to go.
Change my teaching. That is for sure. So I think that's a great note to end on.
I got to do a bad dad joke for Adam. It needed changing.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Adam, much love.